it said, "You don't have a match in the whole United States." Hey guys, we'll get to that little story here in a minute. This video, I thought I'd talk about my dating, or my small amount of dating experiences since I was 18, I guess. Yeah, around 18. I was kind of the dating thing kind of late, I guess, for most people. I was really shy, introverted, whatever you want to call it, in school. I've talked about it a little bit in a couple of videos, I think. It wasn't until I got 18 and got my own car, the LTD2, cruising till the roads, not the roads fell off, cruising till the tires fell off. Yeah, that's what I did. And I had a job exterminating. I had to meet a lot of people doing that, so it kind of got me out of a lot of my shyness, whatever, because I needed to make money to pay for my car and stuff. My first dating, really wasn't dating. I met my ex-wife. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about this because she watches these videos, I think, sometimes. Me and my ex-wife are still good friends. She's one of my best friends, actually. I'll just give you a little bit. We dated for about 2.5 years, I think, before we got married. We were married for 24 years, I think. 24 years. Anyway, we've been separated now, or we've been divorced or whatever, since 2005, I think it was. Anyway, it's like 14, 15 years or whatever we've been apart. She was actually really my first actual kind of like, I don't know, girl that showed an interest in me too much, That's basically when I was 18, I had my car or whatever. I actually met her. Her and her sister actually followed me one day. We wound up dating several months later. Wound up getting married and all that junk. Anyway, hey, I'm not going to say her name, but hey, if you're watching this, I'm talking about you. But that's about all I'm going to talk about. Okay? But during that period between the time we had met, we wasn't dating. She was only 15 at the time, and I was 18 when we first met. We didn't start dating until she was 16, and I was still 18, I think. Yeah. Well, I think I may have turned 19. Anyway, whatever. But in between that time, when I was working for the exterminating, this was actually my first actual date, I guess, when I was 18. A guy that I worked with, exterminating, make sure my camera's still. The guy I worked with when I was exterminating, he was married. He had this cousin, something like that. I don't remember who she was, but she lived in like New Orleans. She was coming up for like a weekend or two or something, staying with an aunt or something. I don't remember, but anyway, they wanted me to go out with her. Okay, so we had to drive. I picked them up in my car, and we drove about 40 miles away to where she was staying or whatever. Now I don't drink. I never have drunk. I mean, I've drank and got drunk once or twice, but I don't drink. I haven't drank anything in like, I don't know, 100 years basically. They were in the back seat getting drunk, and so I drove them over there to meet this girl. I didn't even know what she looked like. They said she was like 17, 18, something like that. We go and pick her up, and she was little, she's cute, from New Orleans, whatever. And we picked her up, and we were driving around a little bit, and they wanted to go to this other town. They wanted to go to this town, had a bar in there. So I just assumed, she was 18, whatever. So we go in there, and they're like, hey, let's go sit down. So we went to sit down. She took off. I'm like, where'd she go? She's went out back. Now I see her. She goes out by side with some guys. I'm like, what is going on here? And, I was pretty naive, I guess. She goes out. A few months later, she comes back. I didn't know what to happen. She's like, okay, so let's go. Okay. We split, we're leaving, and we're driving along, we're coming back to the town I live in, and on the way back, I hear them talking, and she was talking about buying something. I'm like, what did she buy, And come to find out, she bought, I think it was weed, I'm not sure. I never seen it. They never smoked it. I don't know, it may have been pills of some sort. I'm not sure, They were just talking about buying something or whatever, and I got the impression it was something illegal drugs. And it kind of started hitting me, she went out back with some guys and comes back 2 minutes later. She must have bought something, whatever. We get back to town, and then all of a sudden she starts acting really weird. I need to call my home in New Orleans or somebody in New Orleans. So she has to find a payphone. This was before cell phones. Find a payphone, and she gets on the phone, and I don't know. She starts acting weird, crying, and all that stuff. She comes back. Anyway, then they're like, "Hey, let's go out to this club thing." It was getting kind of late. We've been driving around for a while. Nothing was happening. We're just driving around. Whatever. She was just kind of looking at the town or whatever, I guess. And I like to drive, so anyway, went outside of town to this. It was a big kind of nightclub thing, and it was really late. I had to get up. Both of us had to get up. This was a Friday night and Saturday morning. We had to be on a job at 7 o'clock the next morning. So I had to get up, early, and I was like, and this was already like, I don't know, it was like 12:30 at night, 1 o'clock. I don't remember. It was really late. And I was telling him, I said,
"Look, man,
he had already been in trouble a few times, coming in drunk, and been out drunk and been in trouble. I told him,
I said, "Look, man, you're gonna get in trouble, blah blah blah." I said, "I'm not going to. I can't lose this job."
I said,
I can't go in there. I'm not gonna go in there at this late. I gotta get home. I gotta get some sleep.
I want to go. I'm gonna go. So him and his wife and the girl, they're like, "I'm going too," So I said,
"Okay, well, y'all gonna find out what happened because I'm going back home and go to bed."
So I split. I left him up there. Good thing I did. Next morning, he didn't show up for work. I get there. We're trying to find him. Come to find, he's in jail. His wife was in jail. They had somehow got into a fight or something with some people. The girl was gone. I don't know. Somehow or another, they found out she was like 15 or something. And I guess the police had hauled her butt to wherever. I don't know, with her aunt. I don't know. I heard that she was being shipped back to New Orleans or whatever. I don't know what exact. I think maybe she might have been actually a runaway. I'm not even positive about that. But the guy, we came. We finally, the owner had to go bail him out of jail. He come in, and we actually did the job. And I think he got fired after that. He had to find somebody else. But that was that little episode. So that was really the only date I had until me and my ex-wife started dating. Like I said, we dated, and got married. All that, 24 years, whatever, We got divorced. A year or so after that, I thought, okay, I got to do my dating thing. I got to try some dating thing. Well, since I didn't like going to bars, I got any boogers hanging out my nose? Just like I do. Maybe some snot. I'm not sure. Sorry about that. It's a little too much information, right? I thought, okay, I just had my son. He built me up a new computer, and I'd gotten basically high-speed internet before I had dial-up. It was in 2005, so... And a lot of online dating stuff was pretty new and stuff, so let me try some of that. I'm going to try that, the online dating thing, I'll do that, maybe I can meet somebody doing that, First thing I did, I started just looking around on the internet. I was looking at free dating sites or whatever, and I found this one. It was called WebDate. I first got on there, and it's basically like chat rooms that you could turn on your webcam, and you could talk, whatever. They did everything, pretty much. Guys and girls did everything on this website. But there was no restrictions at all, apparently. And that's where my Hawk name, the H-A-W-K-E, kind of came in. It actually did come into effect with that. I think I've talked about this before on an old video. I'm not sure. A quick story. Me and my son used to play paintball. We had radio, walkie-talkies, headsets in our goggles and stuff. We had a face mask, whatever, and I'd rigged them up with mask. Anyway, so we had call signs, and mine was Hawk, but it was basically H-A-W-K. So when I got on the thing, I wanted a name. I didn't, trying to figure out a name, Well, I thought, okay, I'll put Hawk, H-A-W-K. So I put that in there, and there was a ton of them. It was Hawk 101, Hawk 101, Hawk 2001. It was just a crap load of them. So I thought, man, how could I do that differently? So I got to remember, and I thought, I remember a movie, and it hadn't been too long ago. I think it came out in the 1980s or whatever with Matthew Broderick. It was called Lady Hawk. Lady, then Hawk, H-A-W-K-E. I think it's an English spelling, I think. But anyway, so I thought, and I always loved that movie. It had Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Broderick, whatever. So I thought, hey, that's a cool way to spell it. So I typed that in, was none. So I was like, that's it. That's where I'm going. So that's how the Hawk name came into effect, basically in 2004, I think it was when I started, 2000. So if y'all know, Hawk is not my real name. So yeah, I got on the web day, met a bunch of great friends. Actually, I'm still friends with several of them today, and that's been, 15 years ago or whatever. But a lot of times, we just got in there and just chatted. we'd goof around with other people. I mean, there was some of the stuff. I mean, some of the stuff we did, it was pretty funny. I can't get into a lot of it here. It may be a little risque, so I'm not going to get into a lot of that. But anyway, it was a real hoot, man. Sometimes I stay up till half the night on there, just chatting. I got several friends. We'd go. There was a thing called Yahoo. I don't know if y'all remember that, and they had a Yahoo Messenger, and we could get our headsets on, and we could talk to each other through that and goof with people on the web date, and we'd be like, hey, do this to those. Hey, this person's in there doing this, or hey, go mess with them or whatever. So we sit there and do that junk, and we'd goof around with people, and because like some of them, man, there were some pervs on there. But I did meet a couple. I think I met a couple of girls on that that were pretty local, and I went out with a couple. One of them I went out with. Nothing really special. We dated. We went out for a few times. Out to eat. I went up there. She lived up in El Dorado, Arkansas. I drove up there one time. I met her family, and it was at Christmas time, and I helped her. They were putting up a Christmas tree. Blah blah blah. It was pretty boring. I was getting kind of serious, I guess. But I guess it's kind of stupid. But I was. I guess you consider it rebound, whatever, because I've been married for so long, and then now it was kind of like the first one went out with, kind of stupid. But yeah, she decided that she was like, I got to go out of town for a while. I'm like, okay, I got to go hang out. I got to go with a friend, need some help or something like that. Something kind of vague. And I said, okay, well, how long is it going to be? And she said, oh, I should be back in about 3 or 4 days or something like that. And she goes, I'll let you know. And I said, where are you going? She goes, well, I don't really want to tell you, all this kind of stuff. Now, we'd been kind of dating on and off for about 3 months or something. Okay, that's kind of weird, but whatever, I said, well, just call me when you get home, whatever. Well, after about 5 or 6 days, I still hadn't heard nothing, so I thought, well, I'm going to try calling her. So I tried calling her, never got no answer, try to go on, Yahoo, stuff like that, try to message her, stuff like that, never got no response. So I was like, what's the deal, Of course, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know where she went. Really, I didn't have any numbers of any of her family or nothing, so I didn't even know their names. Knew her name, which I assumed it was her name. Yeah, and after 7 or 8 days, I was getting kind of worried then, I was like, what happened? Did she have a wreck somewhere or what, So, I kept calling her, several times a day, trying to get a hold of her, leaving messages for her. And finally, one time she answered, and I was like,
hey, you all right?
She's like, yeah, why are you bugging me? And I'm like,
what do you mean? I said, I ain't heard from you, you said you're going to be back in 3 or 4 days, and I said, it's been 8 days,
I said,
you're kind of worried,
don't worry about me, you're bugging me, blah, blah, blah. Basically, she acted really weird. After that, she was like, just leave me alone, all this kind of junk, I said,
fine, whatever,
I don't care, I mean, I did kind of care, but, whatever. I didn't want to be treated like crap either. After that, I kind of think she might have. She was always talking about her ex-husband, but she was always talking about how bad he was, like he was abusive and verbally abusive and weird. I mean, some of the stuff she told me about him was really weird. I think she might have went back with the guy. I'm not sure. I never heard from her again. Whatever, Not too long after that, I met another one from the same web date. She lived in the same town, and we went out. We talked for a week or so, and she seemed real nice, and we went up there, and I went out on a date. We went out to eat. She was real fun, she was really little. She was only 4'8" or something, 4'9" or something. She was really short. We went to a movie. We had a great time, called her the next day. She worked. Everything seemed fine for a little while, and then after a little while, I was like, what is she doing? Because I kept saying, how about when you go out again, whatever. I can come up there. He was like, no, I'm busy. I was always busy, blah, blah, blah. She had a couple of kids, and I was like, okay, well, but it kept going on. I mean, this went on for about a month and a half, about a month, I guess, where she kept just, we went through Valentine's Day. I actually sent her some flowers. She was like, oh, I love the flowers. I said, well, how about we go out or something? She was like, no, I'm moving. She was moving further away, she said. Anyway, so that went on on and off like that for a little while, and finally, she just decided. I just decided this girl's just dragging me along here, or whatever. So I was basically just cut it off, And And I actually went out with another girl one time. She was like really weird. It was on Match.com. I actually paid for that, Match.com. And I went out with her, and she was, you're really nice. We'd met, about halfway from where we lived. And she's like, you're really nice, but she goes, but I got hundreds of guys that are, contacting me since I got on here. She said her husband had just died recently. And so she's like, and I plan on going through every one of them. So we can still be friends. I said, okay, whatever, She actually kept messaging me, and she would tell me about her dates. And, some of them got with her dates. And she was telling me, I was really cared, I finally was like,
look, I don't care about your dating life, whatever. It's obvious, you don't want to date me, so you said you want to date, so whatever. So
I blowed her off, whatever. But anyway, get to the little story from the headline here. I finally thought, okay, there's all these commercials about eHarmony, and they had this they had this thing where you could go online and put in all your information in, and it would check and see, how many possible things it would be. And then if you were interested in contacting them, you had to pay like $99. I think it was back then. It may have been $49. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a special like $49. But you could contact them or whatever, So I get on there one day, and I start typing in all, you go from one page to, and the way eHarmony worked back then, I guess they were trying to catch you in lies or whatever, and actually see how, because you couldn't go back on a page. Once you typed in your information, you went to the next page, and you couldn't go back and look at what you had put in before. So, it took me about 3 hours to do that, put in information. Like I said, they kept asking a lot of the same questions, but in a different wording. So I think they were trying to catch you in lies or whatever. Then they compile it in the computer or whatever. I don't know, and give you the results or whatever. So I spent like 3 hours typing in all this information over and over and over about me, all kinds of weird junk, personal junk, all this stuff, So, I push enter, put it in, and it said it would get a hold of me. Well, a little while later, it comes back, bing, got an email. Basically, it said, we hate to have to inform you this, and we don't want to take your money, so it's in your best interest. We can't find anybody in the whole United States that's a match for you. And so don't bother sending your money or anything like that. We'd rather, because there's no matches for you. So I was like,
what?
There's not a single match in the whole United States. It was kind of depressing a little bit, I guess. But, that was my eHarmony dating thing. But yeah, I did the match thing for a little while longer. Finally, after about 3 more months of that, this is crap. Screw this crap. It was just making me more and more depressed, having to go through all this, rejection and bull crap, So, yeah, but that was basically my dating experiences. And I haven't dated since. Don't want to. Don't care to date. I don't want to have to go through all that crap again. I don't want to have to go through dating. I don't want to have to put up with nobody's crap. I don't want to have to pay for their junk. I don't want to do it. So I don't. So that's my dating life. Oh, and this is Easter night too. Happy Easter, everybody. But that's about all I got to talk about. If y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up. I should have said this at the beginning, but give it a thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and ring that bell. Thing goes
dang, dang, dang.
Guess I'll talk to y'all later. So that's about it. Y'all have a good one. I'm going to try doing this. Bye. Holy crap. Talking about my love life. Should I put this video even out? I'm not even sure. I don't know if any of these people watch this. I doubt anybody would watch it. Any of those people. Whatever. They might remember. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? I didn't use nobody's name, so whatever. So, I don't care. Screw it. Bye.